What's up? What's up? My homegirl gave me this hat right here. September 2021, the police come to my house, Greene County. I mean, they show up, you know, got guns on me and everything like that, talking about sexual assault on a child. I'm like, what is you talking about, man? Sexual assault on a child, man. I got a son about to be born this year. So they turn around and take me all the way to Greene County Jail. Everybody in rector running their mouth talking about, he messed with a little boy, blah, blah, blah. Y'all didn't know no business of mine. Now, everybody know who my neighbor is here. Everybody know Tony Sanders. He's seen all my paperwork. People seen my paperwork. First off, unbelievable. I'm in shock. This girl says that I took advantage of her and raped her back in 2002, 2001, maybe 1997. She didn't even know what year that we actually met, and like I don't know what year we met either. But I'll get now to how I found out about what year I met her. So anyway, they take me back to Amarillo. This chick named Nikki Sneed, Sneed, Amarillo, Texas, where I'm from. Well, I've been there since I was 10. Anyway, she we knew each other for about 4 days. She jumped in my car one time at a store, at a grocery store, convenience store, and I had a purple Mustang. And we rode around for a couple hours. She said, pull over there behind big old tires. Uh, she jumped on top of me, fucked me, and that was it. And I mean, I was 21 years old and she was 17. I'm gonna get to how I knew about that. And well, I dropped her off the fourth day. Her sister said she didn't want no relationship or nothing serious, so I never talked to her again. Okay, so 2021, she pops up on my mutual friend list out the blue. I'm like, damn, Nikki Sneed, I remember her. And so I friend request or whatever. I'm like, hey, what's up? Why you popping up on my mutual friend? What's up? Who you friends with? And she says hi. And I was all like, well, I remember that we had sex behind big old tires and stuff. I ain't seen you in like 20 years. How's life been going? So she goes off. It's been like 20 years, 19 years. Somewhere I asked her, I text her and I say, I think I met you around 1999, right? Now, that was just an idea. Like, I didn't remember the exact year. Anyway, so when I get to the jail and all of that, they turn around and I get a lawyer and everything, and they say, well, I said, what evidence you got? She screenshot the evidence, like not evidence, but she screenshot that we had made out or whatever. And I said, I remember we had sex around 1999. But she says it happened in 2002. So they come and arrest me and they say this is evidence. You admitted you had sex with her within the time frame. She said that you raped her, blah, blah, blah. So she pulls a snake move on me. I'm like, dude, just because she said it happened in 2002 doesn't mean it happened in 2002. And when I said, I think I met you around 1999, I didn't know the exact time. I just knew I met her somewhere within. So they take her word. First, she wrote a statement saying she was 15 and I was 19. Then she wrote a statement 2 months after that saying she was 16 and I was 20. Then she tried to say she was 13. She didn't even know how old she was. But see, her baby daddy is a fireman. And the police don't like me in Amarillo because, as you see, I make videos talking about the police. So they use her as retaliation. Then they put me in jail with $100,000 bond, and a lawyer wanted $30,000. And then they wanted me to sit in a cell for up to 4 years before I went to a trial. And I'm like, look, man, I'm about to be 40. I don't got no time to be sitting up in no cell. And they bamboozle me and they do that shit. If you take the prosecutor and you lock them up in a room, I guarantee you they gonna beg for mercy and beg to get free. Now the prosecutor's name was Robert Love out of Amarillo, Texas. So the deal was I take the furlough of probation to be off my record. I come here, I live at home. This is where I am. I'm a citizen. So when I get here, I get an interstate compact. And then they tell me the 45th day that you can't live here because there's a football field by your house. What? That feels like 940 feet from my house. They don't even use that football field, but like 5 times a year. So Texas says you got to be 1,000 feet away. So I tell my lawyer, and my lawyer says, well, they should let you be here and be approved because you're a citizen. He tells me this before I even take the plea bargain because I asked him about it, right? And now the probation officer, the sex offender probation officer in Paragould had the nerve to ask me, well, tell me that, well, you can't live here, so maybe your dad, you, and your stepmom needs to sell y'all's house. So they asked us to sell out. I said that wasn't part of the plea bargain. That wasn't the deal. The deal was for me to come home. And first off, I can't believe that they went 20 years back and really they didn't have a case. They just knew that I was the type of man that I didn't want to sit there. So what do? Texas wanted to screw me over. It's like every time I get one thing out the way, something else happened. So when I get out of jail, I go down to the Santa Fe building. I go down to the DMV and I get registration. I say, do y'all got registration to a car I may have owned, a Mustang? And I pay $2 and they look it up. Well, folks, I didn't own the vehicle in 2002 when she said that we had sex. This girl, Nikki Steen, she also asked for $90,000 in restitution fees. Isn't that extortion? And then, I was like, look, this is ridiculous. Then they want me to take classes. All suddenly they're like, oh, you're a sex offender. I done raised kids that don't belong to me. I done changed diapers. I done did all types of things. I done been a parent, everything. And I ain't never had no case on me like that. I would never mess with a little child or a kid. So when I get back here, I got to go to Clay County and register as a sex offender. So I go to their little jail and talk to Miss Hope. So you know what? She says, how old were you when you got convicted? I said 39. She said, how old was the victim? I said 16. So automatically she goes off, pushes in the computer 39 when convicted, victim 16. So if people get on the register and they see me, they get that impression like I'm almost a 40-year-old man messing with 16-year-old girls. That ain't how it went down. That's how they're putting it. But that's the real story, is that this chick, she filed charges, wrote a statement this year, and used a screenshot, which wasn't really no evidence. And they're talking about it was her word against your word. Now, with me being in good spirit and everything, and being a man, I'm a different type of person today. But if this girl would have did this to anybody else in this world, there's some dudes out there that would have went straight and busted her head wide open with them up. They would have fucked this bitch up. There's a lot of dudes out there that would have responded, because you don't play with a man's life like that. Hey, it's cool. She blocked me and everything, but she didn't have to go and be like, this happened, whoop, whoop, whoop. And then when I get my registration to my vehicle, it shows I own the vehicle 2002, the 10th month to 2003, the 8th month, which she was born 1986, which that makes her 17 and that makes me 21 years old because I was born 11/26/81, so she was legal. And she wrote 3 different statements. Court appointed attorneys ain't worth shit, so I had to write the state bar, and I ain't heard back from them. And when I tried to go back on the plea bargain, the judge gave me 30 days to go back on it. When I found evidence and other stuff I found, and then I ran into this dude that turned out to be her brother, and he a sex offender. His name Blaine Sneen. I met him 20 years later down at the police department. I was telling my story. He said his sister set him up. When he was 17, she introduced him to a 21-year-old and an 18-year-old, and they all got drunk, and the 21-year-old didn't admit that she bought him beer, and he fucked both of them, and then they screamed rape. And guess who did that? Nikki Steen, the girl that came and got me this year, she did that to her brother. And her brother just made parole. So I'm wondering, could he have told her something, that could have made her do this to get me put behind bars later on in the future? Some snake shit going on, man. But hey, that's the story, man. I'll holler at y'all, man. Rector Arkansas, innocent sex offender. And then I don't get down like that. Every woman I mess with in her 40s or 30s or 27 and up, man. I mess with grown ass women. I don't mess with no little girls, so everyone know the story. And there's no statute of limitations on the minor. I'm still in shock. Whoa! They went all the way back to 2002 and 1 when I was just a young man, a teenager. What the fuck wrong with these people, man?